For the Panthers ball print, this Sunday they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you know what? With tomorrow being Thanksgiving, let's actually make comparisons. Carolina Panthers players as parts of your Thanksgiving meal.
Turkey edition.
Speaking of turkey, let's start right there. I know the stereotypical thing being like, well, you know, the turkey's the main part of the dish, is the main thing. You know what? That's got to be your quarterback, right? No! For this Panthers team, it's that offensive line. All parts together, right? Mm-hmm. We have seen this offensive line, even through injuries, play amazingly this season.
Yeah.
Play absolutely awesome. I thought they were fantastic on Sunday. They gave Bryce Young a ton of time, especially against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Heck, even against the New York Giants, one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. Held their own. Actually, more than held their own. Gave Bryce Young plenty of time. So that's where we are. Turkey, it's the offensive line.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I like it as well. Different parts
dish.
All working together.
It's the main dish.
It's the main dish.
Some people need the skin. Some people don't like it, you know. It all works together, though.
But they all have different parts, right?
Yep.
All different parts that, again, all fit together.
Mm-hmm.
Mashed potatoes. My favorite side. My
Is
favorite
it?
side, when it comes to Thanksgiving, mashed potatoes are my favorite side.
There you go.
Chuba Hubbard.
Mm-hmm.
Mashed potatoes are reliable.
Mm-hmm.
It's reliable.
It's a good driver.
It really is. It's like, it's one of those things, you got to have it. It's a core piece of the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Chuba Hubbard. Something you could build around. What about the stuffing, Victoria? Do you like stuffing in the turkey or you like stuffing outside?
It really just depends on how people are making it and what they're putting in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's really the key. Because I like both kinds.
Okay.
Sometimes when it's in it, it gets a little too soggy. Sometimes. It's this other people's, but...
Sometimes a little too dry.
Sometimes
it's a little bit on preference.
Exactly.
That's why the stuffing is Bryce Young.
Yeah.
That's why the stuffing is Bryce Young. Because not people like it in different ways. By the way, get the raisins out of here. Get the raisins out of the stuffing.
Are people really putting raisins in their stuffing?
People sometimes put dry cranberries.
Oh,
Get that out of here too.
No.
Get it out of here too.
No.
But again, it can be made a little bit different. Different for different people. Again, some people like to put the stuffing directly in the turkey. Mm-hmm. Others don't. Mm-hmm. Some people like just to have the instant box stuff.
Sure.
No. You got to slow cook this thing right. Bryce Young. Stuffing. What about mac and cheese, Victoria?
Ooh,
mac and cheese is another core part.
It's one of my faves.
Right? One of your favorites. Mm-hmm. Another core piece. Something you build.
Thielen, potentially?
You know, I was actually thinking the wide receivers for the Panthers could be pie. But a core piece that has to be there. I know he's been injured this year. Derrick Brown.
Ah, yes.
Derrick Brown. Core piece. Because guess what? The cheese holds the noodles together.
He probably
holds
also likes
the macaroni together.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm going to go with Derrick Brown as the mac and cheese.
I like it. Can't go against it. Yeah.
What about the rolls? The rolls are a nice little added addition, nice little extra piece there. But you know what? If the roll's done right, if the roll's good, it's perfect. Mm-hmm. But if they're overcooked, they're too cooked.
Yep.
A little bit hard to work with. A little bit tougher to swallow. Mm-hmm. J.C. Horn.
Makes sense.
J.C. Horn.
Because sometimes the rolls fall off the plate.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes, you know what? Got to set it to the side. Yeah, exactly. You know what? The roll's been pretty good so far this year.
Yeah.
Roll's been pretty good so far this year.
Right.
But sometimes you get the one that might be a little bit overcooked than the other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
J.C. Horn.
Yep.
Your rolls. You mentioned Adam Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Thielen's old reliable, right?
He is.
I always think of, wide receivers as like the extra. They're the fun.
They usually are the fun.
Hey, you know what? We can spice this thing up however we want to. We can sweeten this thing up any way we want to. You know what? Depending on what you want or what you need at that time, you might go for a different type of pie. Old reliable. What's the number one pie at Thanksgiving, Victoria?
I would say pumpkin.
Bingo.
Nice.
Adam Thielen, pumpkin pie.
Yes. With whipped cream.
Okay. Sometimes you need it. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want it. Sometimes you don't.
I like a little pie with my whipped cream.
That's fair. That's totally fair. You know what? Sometimes like you can't have too much of it, but when it's done just right and you have just enough of it, chocolate chess pie.
Oh, yeah.
Chocolate chess pie.
Of course.
Xavier Legette, chocolate chess pie.
I like that.
Xavier Legette, chocolate chess pie. Because here's the thing I'm starting to realize, I think, a little bit with Xavier Legette. If you give him the ball 5-6 times, like just enough, he can make some big plays. But when you try and maybe go a little bit too much, that's where things drop. That's where the tummy ache comes in, right?
A little too much too soon.
A little too much, but you know what? In the red zone, even just a quick bite of it, perfect. Like in the red zone, Xavier Legette, chocolate chess pie.
I like it.
What about pecan pie? You big pecan pie person?
I do love pecan, however you want to say it.
However you pronounce
all the
it.
which ways, I'm a fan.
Some people aren't a big fan of that.
They're not. Some people are allergic.
Some people are allergic to it. But it's something that you know more people are going to like than most. It's I think where Jalen Coker actually comes in. Because Jalen Coker is a staple of Thanksgiving. Or I say pecan pie is a staple of Thanksgiving. Now, depending on who your audience is, much like the offense you're trying to run, that's where Jalen Coker comes in. Yep. Jalen Coker, good enough speed, not fast enough. He's not going to be your downfield streaker in terms of, I'm going to just burn past everybody, but he can be reliable to the right people and in the right situations.
Yeah.
Pecan pie, Jalen Coker.
Yeah.
I'm a big Jalen Coker fan. I'm not a pecan pie fan, but I love Jalen Coker.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of his.
You know what?
What's that?
Jonathon Brooks, he could be the green bean casserole.
Ooh, okay.
Because people try to say we don't need, and people is not me, say we don't need 2 running backs. But it's a nice addition. It's a nice addition.
I'm all for it.
You may not need the green bean casserole, but it's a nice addition.
It's a great addition to have.
Yeah.
Now, where the cranberries fall in on this one? Ooh. I'm not a cranberry fan.
I do love some cranberry sauce. Now, there's a difference. There's the kind that you plop out and it looks like the can.
Yep. There's that, and some people that actually do make it homemade.
With real cranberries.
With real cranberries.
I've done that. It's a pain.
Sounds like Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Sounds like Miles Sanders.
Yep.
Hey, to some, at the right moment, for the right amount, hey, we've seen him pop off a couple 20-yard plus plays this season. Whether it's like a jet sweep or even line up in the slot. We've seen that before, but you know what? Not everyone's taste, and kind of you end up wasting more than you use when it comes to cranberry sauce, I feel like. It's on the table. It's there.
Yep.
But don't necessarily think I like it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. To some, that's fine. To others, probably not so much.
You know what? Maybe David Moore would be a deviled egg.
Oh, okay.
Because, again, it's a nice addition.
It's a nice addition to have.
When you show up, and you show up well, you show up big.
Yeah. But guess what? Doesn't necessarily have to have it in order to complete my meal. I'm for it. Now, the big question, Victoria, is the gravy ties things together, right?
Yes.
The gravy. But hey, you know what? Gotta have it. You need one. JJ Jansen. JJ Jansen is the gravy. He's the personality, the fun, and he's been part of the organization for a long time.
Yeah.
Just like the gravy is. Give me JJ Jansen as the gravy.
I thought you were going to say Dave Canales, meshing everything together.
We're going players specifically on this one. Players specifically on this one.
I know. If I said Dave Canales, I feel like he might be the sweet potato casserole. Because, he's sweet on the outside. He comes across as this, very nice guy, but maybe he's got some marshmallows with some crispiness. The, nuts, the candied nuts to make them crunchy. I don't know. Maybe.
I say, now I'm thinking about it, who would be the sweet potato casserole? Because I generally have not had sweet potato casserole at my Thanksgiving meals going on. Because we're never big sweet potato fans. So who would be the sweet potato?
I know.
What's that?
I've got it.
Hit me.
Eddie Pinheiro.
That's
it. That's it.
Let's go.
Let's go, Eddie.
Let's go, Eddie.
The most accurate kicker in NFL history right now.
Let's go, Eddie Pinheiro's sweet potato casserole.
I love it. Yeah.
That is, we're gonna wrap up the Panthers paw print right there.
On that note,
that's Panthers paw print.
Amen.
Panthers players as parts of Thanksgiving.
Yes. Now I'm hungry.
I know. I'm hungry as well. I'm hungry too.